that people are saying, oh yeah, when you're finals MVP, you are now the best player on the planet. To me, that makes no sense whatsoever. I don't care if it's a week, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? LeBron James. That's who y'all gotta start appreciating. And you gotta stop disrespecting this man. One day the LeBron James hatred and slander will stop and it will go away. And you will all appreciate the greatness and the goatness that LeGoat Ramon James truly is. Argue with your mama, not with me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Prideful podcast. As always, it is the man, the myth, the legend, the ugliest motherfucker in the game, Pride. It's been a couple weeks, but we're back. We're better than ever. Had to take a week off because of Thanksgiving. Last week, almost had an aneurysm. I'll explain all that later, but we do got a lot of stuff to get into, so let's dive right into it. So first and foremost, talking about LeBron James. What a great segue. Let me start by saying this. I am not the biggest fan of the in-season tournament. I don't get it. I don't understand why it's a thing. I'm assuming this is their way to make players take the regular season more serious. Now, I understand they get money, right? I believe each player gets, I think, like $500,000. It's something like that. In essence, when you win, they give you a reward, right? So big ups to them, right? It's in Vegas. I know a lot of players want to go to Vegas so they can kind of relax. The NBA just made sure that on today there is only one game, and that is the in-season tournament. That's the championship game today. It starts at 8:30. It is the greatest basketball player of all time, LeBron James, leading this inconsistent Lakers team. I don't want to say they're trash because D'Lo shows you stuff that makes you go, wow, man, this is what people thought D'Lo would be back then. And then, he does D'Lo things where it's like, okay, I get outside of the Nick Young thing why they got rid of him. Anthony Davis is still the epitome of a roller coaster ride. Manic highs and depressing lows. I don't know what is going on with Anthony Davis. And this team is going to be facing I don't want to say, I feel like saying young, up and coming isn't really a fair description of this Pacers team. Because their superstar, and they have a future superstar who I think by next year we're going to start having the conversations that he is. Tyrese Halliburton. I think he's really the only legitimate. I think he's the only legitimate. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think he's the only legitimate young up-and-comer on that team. I think everybody else is pretty much who they are. So, for example, obviously you got Tyrese Halliburton. Buddy Hield, who is very pivotal to this roster. He's 30. Another person who's kind of instrumental in TJ McConnell. At times he comes in to give Tyrese Halliburton a little bit of reprieve, or sometimes they put him on the floor together, so that way Halliburton can get some breaks. 31. Another kid who's another guy who's on that team. Miles Turner. He's 27. So there's really, outside of perhaps Aaron Naismith, Obi Toppin, who are 24 and 25 respectively. Respectively. That's what I'm looking for. Respectfully, I didn't go to college. Outside of them, a lot of these guys are who they really are. So I think here's the sad part. It's very hard to predict this game. It genuinely is, because I know LeBron is going to do LeBron things. And I don't think anybody here is really going to question LeBron. I don't think anybody legitimately. I don't think anybody's legitimately going to question LeBron. However, I do think everybody else around him is question marks. I'm looking at a roster. Like I said, Anthony Davis is the epitome of a roller coaster ride. 1 minute, man shows up, and it's like, yep, this is the guy who we thought could have won MVP back in his days when he was with the Pelicans, right? That are now named the Pelicans, right? Then he goes and shows man wasn't even worthy of a first round pick, let alone like it's very, very difficult. I think the only person really outside of LeBron who's really been relatively, because even he's had some iffy performances, it's Austin Reeves. And he actually comes better off the bench, which is weird because you would feel like a kid like that, with how he's been playing, you would want to put him in the starting lineup. But he actually struggles in the, well, I don't want to say struggle because that's kind of a messed up way to say it. But his production dips heavily when he's in the starting lineup. Obviously, you got LeGoat Ramon James, argue with your mama, not with me. But I mean, again, D'Angelo Russell, same thing I said earlier. He'll show you for 5 minutes he's great, and then for 6 minutes, you're wondering how did he even sign his own name on the contract. But I will never bet against LeBron James. I won't bet against him. The stuff where this is just kind of my, if the Lakers really want to win this, and like I said, I'm picking them. If the Lakers truly want to win this, there's one thing they need to do. They need to focus more on perimeter because Tyrese Halliburton is going to pull up. Tyrese Halliburton, this kid is a bona fide stud. This kid is a bona fide stud. I understand you're going to want to try to take your chances with him and you want to lock down the pace so Miles Turner doesn't have a game. But the reality of the situation is the way that this team plays, and when I say this team, I mean the Pacers, they are more of a spread the floor, shoot threes type of team. And Miles Turner, a lot of his points comes from, he takes 3-point shots. He does. But he also, a lot of his points really come from him kind of cleaning up, right? They'll run a couple plays for him here and there. But if you really ask them how they really want to do it, they want the ball in Tyrese Halliburton's head, which, again, I don't blame them for it. I don't. When you have a kid like Tyrese Halliburton who's on the cusp of legitimately being a top 10 player in the league, legitimately, like I think he's on the cusp of being there. Right now, I think he's top 20, and that's not even a debate. Now we're starting to get into top 10. And I think next year we're going to have that conversation. You will want the ball in his hands because when he has the ball in his hands, A, the moment's not too big for him. B, whatever he does with the ball, you know it's a smart move, regardless of what it is, whether he passes it, whether he shoots it, doesn't matter. You know that it's like it's the best thing to do at the time. But I do think if you look at it from the perspective of player for player, I do have a little more faith in the Lakers. Maybe. Again, this is, if you look at the supporting cast, this really is a case of the what would you rather have? Because obviously Bron's going to show up. Tyrese Halliburton's just going to show up. Then from there on down, it's kind of like really pick your poison. It really is. Because let's be honest here. Miles Turner, he could hoop, but he doesn't have the best motor. Same thing with Anthony Davis. So, and now you got to rely on respectfully TJ McConnell to really be that guy, Obi Toppin to really be that guy to get out. It's going to be very difficult for him to believe. So, I do have the Lakers. I think up to the 3/4, Pacers will keep it respectable. But heading into the fourth, I think that's when GOAT James gets sick of the games and, just completely takes over, dominates, and does what GOAT Ramon James does. So I got the Lakers 123, Pacers 119. I think it's a very respectful game. And I think there's going to be a stretch in the fourth where it kind of gets away from them. And then we go from there. Now, I got to compose myself for a moment because I need to kind of breathe and kind of woosah. Because when I saw this without a shadow of a doubt made me hate college football. So let me just set this. So week 14 in college playoffs, this was the top four. Georgia at 1, Michigan at 2, Washington at 3, Florida State at 4. Which I kind of agreed. Oh, there he is. Ooh, what's cracking? How you feeling?
Man, been running around, man. What's good with you, man? Sorry for the tardiness.
Nah, you good. You good. Matter of fact, let me get your thing on it. Lakers Pacers. Who you got
Tonight?
Yeah.
I would be wrong for going against the King, but I love the underdog because I'm an underdog myself, so I'm going with the Pacers.
You want Pacers?
Yeah.
I picked the Lakers only because I feel Tyrese Halliburton is going to show up. I think everyone knows that he's going to show up, and LeBron's going to show up. Outside of that, I'm more comfortable picking the Lakers roster over the Pacers, but it's kind of like, what would you rather smell? Shit or garbage? It's like it's really like you're kind of picking your own poison type of thing. But I think it'll be the Lakers. I said 123 to 119. I think it'll be a pretty close game. Probably like the fourth quarter is going to be a stretch where kind of, LeBron kind of takes over, or maybe even Austin Reeves, because coming off the bench, Buddy over there a problem. So I'm thinking that's what's going to end up happening. I think the Lakers end up getting it.
Let's not leave AD out the equation. I expect for AD to have a big night tonight, and don't be surprised to see Cam Reddish start out on the Halliburton too.
No, for sure. I think he's gonna. I think Cam Reddish is gonna get high minutes solely being on Tyrese Halliburton. I would be surprised if he has anything over 7 points.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I think his number one job is gonna be, keep up with Halliburton. That's all you have to do. If you get a fast break point, hey, that's cool. We'll take it, no problem. But number one, we want you to focus solely on Tyrese Halliburton. So yeah, especially like considering that he's a bigger body. That would be nice. But I need you to hear this rant from me. And then if I'm bugging, I need you to let me know. I need you to let me know, because I've been stewing on this for a while. And this is why it is very hard for some people to care about college football. It is borderline impossible to care, to get invested, and respect anything that has to do with college football. So week 14, these were the top 14 teams that were going to go into the college football playoffs. Number 1, Georgia. Number 2, Michigan. Number 3, Washington. Number 4, Florida. Some people kind of had some arguments, but it really wasn't that the wrong teams were there. Some people thought Michigan should be number 1. Some people wanted Washington higher. Some people wanted Florida higher. They had the 4 right teams. For the first time in their long-legged lives, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
For the first time, they knew what they were doing. They had the right teams up there. Okay? 1 week happens. Just 1 week happens. Okay? Bama barely beats Georgia. Barely. And the committee lost themselves. Now it's Michigan 1, Washington 2, Texas at 3, and Alabama at 4. And mind you, we already know why they passed Florida. They kicked Florida State out because their quarterback ended up getting hurt.
That's right.
But what that tells me, this is what this tells me. Well, first of all, Georgia dropping 5 is stupid. Let me just get that out the way.
Okay.
Like if you want to drop, if Georgia going from 1 to maybe 4, okay, I get it. Fine, whatever. But for them to be out, that's lunacy. And for Florida State to be out is out of your mind. Don't feed me that, because this is what people are saying. Well, Florida State struggled against Louisville, so they got to be punished. This is the same Louisville that's in a bowl game playing against USC.
That's right.
Meanwhile, Alabama struggled against Auburn, but we're not allowed to talk about that, though. I am not. And this is what it is for me. If the committee came out and said, "Look, we don't care who wins, we don't care who loses, we just want to generate money," you tell me that, all right, cool, I'll take this ride with you. Don't sit here and tell me, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, what is the point of going through the season if this is all you're gonna do? They're complaining about, oh yeah, they lost to Louisville. Louisville is a top 15 program right now. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? And mind you, I am not an Alabama hater. I'm not a Florida State fan.
Yeah.
I mean, Georgia is a program, sure, I'd like to watch, but I wouldn't necessarily call myself a fan. when it comes to college football, I personally don't have I don't have a team. There's
Never.
just certain players that I like to watch and I like to follow. Like, for example, Clemson. I watched Clemson when they had Deshaun, and I had them when they had Sunshine. Now, occasionally I'll peek into them, but I ain't really on them like that because I'm the type of dude that I like certain players. You see what I'm saying? But for me, it is very hard. And if I'm bugging, I want you to let me know.
Okay.
It is very hard for me to take college football. Say, like, when people ask me why I don't get overly invested in it, this is why. This is why. Because what you're telling me is we don't care what you did over the regular season. That doesn't matter. And if it doesn't matter, why should I care? Why should it matter to me then? You see what I'm saying?
How do you sell that? How are you a coach and you going into someone's living room to recruiting the one? You know, I mean, like this is really just saying this is about money, man. Like we want to put the best teams out there because we want these numbers, we want these ratings, and we want to put out a great product. So I mean, this is if you've never seen it any other time with the NCAA when it comes to football, I mean, this is the time when you see it right here. I mean, Florida State deserves to be there, in my opinion. I don't care who's hurt; they deserve to be there. You know, somebody on TV had said something about Florida State, and they played. Who did they play in the ACC championship game? Was that Louisville?
I want to say, yeah,
it was Louisville. Said that they had 55 yards passing for the whole game. And I'm like, who's to say that when they played in the championship game or whatever the case may be, or in the playoff, that when they had 365 or whatever, you know? But we'll never know because they're not there. And, you know, they're going to find a way to either have Alabama or Georgia in it if they couldn't have both. So, I mean, I just want to see, at the end of the day, I haven't seen the seeding, who's 1, 2, 3, or 4. I just want to see Washington against Michigan. That's all I want to see. I don't know.
No, it's going to be Michigan. If I'm mistaken, I think it's Michigan, and I think it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think that's how they do it.
So 1 play 4 and 2 play 3. I don't think I'm saying it for the national championship game. I just want to see Michigan and Washington, if it can go that way.
Let me see. Okay. So yeah, so it's gonna be. So all right. So on the first, and it's gonna be number. Okay, so they do 1, 4, 2, 3.
Yeah,
so it's gonna be Washington and Texas, which I got Washington for that one.
Yeah, me too.
And then Michigan and Alabama, and I think Michigan gets it.
Yeah, me too. I like that. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, not like, and my thing is this. This is my thing, because everyone is complaining about them struggling against number 14 Louisville, which is a top 15 program, right? 16 to 6, because that's kind of what everyone who's an Alabama fanboy is leeching on, right? This is Alabama struggled against Auburn 27-24. Okay, I'm not even going to bring up the loss of Texas. Okay, right after that loss, they struggled against South Florida, another unranked team, 17-3. Okay, then they struggled against Texas A&M, 26-20. Then they struggled the week after that against Arkansas, 24-21. My question is, why don't we hold that against Alabama? Because nobody wants to have that conversation.
That's right. Yeah.
Which I think is the dumbest thing in the world. Like, I'm out here looking at Florida. I mean, obviously, we already know Florida State is undefeated, right? We already know they're undefeated. Obviously, they're undefeated in the ACC, right? But
that's
again, the team that they lost to in Louisville, do you know what their record is in the ACC? 7-1. For context, Florida State is 8-0.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are we doing here? It's like, huh? So I will never in my long-legged life understand this. I never, ever will understand the stupidity. And it's stupidity. It is stupidity. That why doesn't this committee just come out and say, look, we just care about money. That's all we care about. We're not taking this serious. There's certain teams we want to sneak in there because they got big fan bases. Let's just get them in there and let's move closer today. I would respect them more if they came out and said that.
Yeah, I got you on that. But, you know, I mean, no matter how much people disagree, people still going to tune in. They know it. It ain't like it's going to be some kind of bit boycott or something like that, the people gonna miss it. I just feel sorry for the players who really put that work in, who really you start off 3-0, and next thing you know you 7-0, and you're 11, and you're like, oh snap, man, we don't have an undefeated season at 12-0, and then not only that, we win our championship game only not to be in it. I think that's crazy.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you did everything. Picture this: you did everything right, and you get penalized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, it doesn't. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And honestly, like, again, another one making it in Texas. I personally, I don't really understand that, because I don't think Texas has a better reason to be in there over Georgia. But even so, for me, Texas, I don't know, man. I don't know. For me, it's just mind-boggling. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And like I said, man, like, for me, the main issue it brings for me is, like, this is why when people tell me, oh yeah, this is why it's hard for me to respect rankings. It really is, because 9 times out of 10, it's on some stupid brain dead stuff that makes zero sense, something that shouldn't even be a thing. But I mean, you know how it is, bro. You know how this thing is, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my Lord. By the way, I just want to throw it out there. We beat the Steelers. I'm ecstatic. I'm very proud of myself. It is probably the last time I'm gonna be able to wear my jersey at work, because every time we win, I wear my jersey to work. It's probably gonna be the last. Wait, no, we play the Jets, so there'll be one more time.
I think for the most part, y'all always have Sun Pittsburgh though. I'm saying for the most part.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin asked. He asked, man. Mike Tomlin is not that good. I keep telling people, Mike Tomlin is really not that guy. He's really not that guy, but nobody wants to believe me. And then, he plays a decent team.
Dang, hold on, God, no, now what's wrong with Mike Tomlin?
He's not like that. He's not like that. You point to me one game where he's made any on-the-fly adjustment. Let me know.
I'm not a Steelers fan. I don't pay attention to him. I mean, I always felt that he would be the kind of coach that I would like to play for, and that I would like my son to play for. You know what I'm saying? Because he holds his players accountable, and he demands a certain type of, will when you out there on that field, a certain type of discipline when you out there.
He demands that from anybody except George Pickens.
Okay, I mean, that's how you feel, but I'm just saying, God, no, hey man.
He's not that guy. I'm not saying he's a bad coach.
Yeah.
But this weird love affair people have for him, no, never. Do you relax? Like, relax, settle down. This weird love affair people have for him, he's really not it. He's really not it.
Teach his own, man.
I'm just saying, I've never seen a guy who knows his quarterback is trash continuously throw the ball when you have a solid run game you can use. You should be playing clock, but he doesn't choose to, because his delusional ass thinks we got an offense that can put up 50 consistently. This man is delusional. Yes. No, he doesn't. He does it now. He poses after he fired Matt Canada. He's doing this. Let this sink in. Everyone used to get mad at Matt Canada for calling the plays, right? They fire Matt Canada. He's no longer there, and they're doing the same exact thing. Matt Canada's gone now. You can't look at Matt Canada and be like, yeah, bro, Matt Canada got to get his kid. He's gone now. He's gone. And Buddy's still doing the same thing. Man, please, man. Give me a clipboard.
Oh, hey, I'm gonna show you something. It's gonna throw you for a loop. I got my Christmas present for myself today, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had to do it, man. I had to do it, man.
Okay, all right. Okay. I love it. Yep. Okay. All right. Yep.
Yeah, I see that, man. I said, nah, this is me right here.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. All day.
Last year I had got myself some. It was a Christmas thing, but it was like superheroes. So it was one of the socks had Superman, but he had the instead of the cape, he had Santa's thing with the hat, and then there was like the Batman symbol with like. So I got a whole bunch of those too last year. So now you smart man. But now I'm telling you, man. I'm not even saying this to be mean or nothing, bro. But like, and I'm not saying he's a bad coach. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's a bad coach. But this love affair that everyone's got with him, it's gotta stop. It's gotta stop because you're seeing him. He doesn't make adjustments. He doesn't know what he has. It was nice when you could throw the ball with Ben Roethlisberger when you got Hines Ward down there. It's the same thing kind of with Bill Belichick. Now we're starting to see Bill Belichick don't not know the quarterback position. And it's okay, baby. You're still the greatest coach of all time. And it's okay that you don't know the quarterback position. That is okay. That is fine. I won't argue with you. You feel me? But it is okay to, you know what I mean? It's okay to acknowledge two things. You love something, but you can critique it, right? Like, I love LeBron, right? But one of the knocks on him, he's too much of a family guy. He's way too much of a family guy. You feel me? He's way too much of a family guy. Every time I see him, it's all about his kids. I don't want that. You feel me? You didn't see MJ's kids. We didn't see him. Why? Because MJ didn't care. No, we didn't. When MJ was hooping, MJ didn't care.
Look, we're in a different time now, man. More things are more open. More things.
Nah, you're right. You're not. That's my fault. You're right. Because when you're a guy like LeBron James, who is on a completely different status than anybody else who's ever touched a basketball, you can do whatever you want to do. So you're right. Because LeBron James is so up here. Man, it's so high, I can't reach. That's how high. Look at that. I can't reach him. I can't reach him. You feel me? Man. That's Bron.
Dang, how tall are you?
Tall enough to catch Mike.
No. I'm asking a serious question. 5'10". 5'10"? Are you tall? Okay, man, you same height.
Yeah, we same height, yeah.
Shit, man, what's your vert?
Yeah, we'll.
Huh?
Back then or now?
Now.
You call me DeMarcus Cousins, man. You might as well call me DeMarcus. I can't jump over a credit card.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'm right there too. So that explains why you know what I'm saying, you can't reach Mike. That's what's up. All right, that's cool.
No. I can reach Mike. It's Bron. I can't reach. He up there. He up there, man. I can't reach Bron. He up there. I one day I'll get it. I'll get a ladder. So I can catch him. But by the time I get I'm up there, guess what? He gonna keep climbing up there too.
It's just crazy, like I told y'all before, man. However you want to put it, you can't go wrong either way. If you want to say, I'm gonna tell you something with the top. I say the top 5 greatest players, possibly 6 of all time. If you want to put any on, you want to put Magic Johnson first. You want to put Kareem first, who just gets left out, but a real true person who really watch him will have him up. You know what I'm saying? Like you had them guys right there, man. Even as far as Tim Duncan, as far as Kobe. If someone said this is the number 1 player of all time,
nah, you lost me there, Skip. You lost me there.
Nah, you go ahead. Man, you go ahead with Kobe, man. I'm trying to tell you. Hey, before you get up out of Greenville, man, hey, we got to watch some highlights together. I'm trying to tell you, man. Kobe's on some other stuff, man.
You're right. He was doing some other stuff when he wasn't trying to copy MJ. This is why. Here's the problem.
You never had an influence. Have you ever had an influence?
No, I've had an influence before. I've had an influence.
What's wrong with that?
I'm gonna tell you what the difference is. Someone can influence me to do something, but I will also try to take my own path. Kobe he desperately tried to do everything Mike did because
except for one thing Mike didn't do. It's one thing Mike didn't do.
You tell me.
In a playoff game, everybody kept complaining. Kobe don't pass the ball. Kobe took all the shots. And what that man do in this game? He took 3 shots. He said, "All right, then here you go."
He took the 3-1 lead. There
you go. Nah, he took 3 shots. I want to say he took 3 shots. There you go.
I think it was it was the second half. I think it was.
Nah, that was for the whole game. He took 3 shots for the whole game.
I remember that. He kept passing up.
There you go.
I'm doing too much.
I thought that was the most, and especially coming from a person like me, man. That was love, man. That's my whole thing. All right, then, you got a problem, you do it. Do it. Go ahead, do it.
I don't know about all that because his teammates ain't say nothing. Teammates ain't say nothing.
Nah, that was for everybody. Just in case you were thinking it in your mind. There you go, do it.
And I still think it. I loved
it. And people still got mad about that.
Well, yeah.
People still got mad about that.
Because here was the problem. Here's the problem. Kobe was getting triple team, shooting it and bricking it, and then yelling at Pau Gasol for not getting the board. That's what Kobe was doing, and that's what people were getting mad at him about.
Nah, man, listen, man.
I'm just saying.
If you take the top 6 players of all time, and if you want to say this person is number one, you got valid reasons, because at the end of the day, there's no documented number one by land of the law, you know what I'm saying, or by God that says my children, Michael Jordan is number one of all time, or LeBron James. It ain't like that. This is all based on opinion. And if you want to say LeBron James, I ain't here to argue with you. If you want to say Michael Jordan, I agree with you. But I'm telling Michael Jordan people, like I told him before, don't act like Michael Jordan is uphill and everybody else dying up. Let's not do that now. Let's not do that. That's all I ask. Let's not do that. Let's not be disrespectful like that.
I'll be honest. There's only 3 guys I think you can make a legitimate argument for the greatest of all time. And it's LeBron James. And that's just because he is. Michael Jordan. Because
Michael Jeffrey Jordan. You gotta say Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Negative.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I don't love MJ that much. Maybe one day I'll love him enough to say his full name. But nah, because the love I got for LeBron is why I said LeBron Ramon James. You feel me?
You can say that. You can say
that. I go say his middle name. Maybe one day. But it's either Bron, MJ, or Kareem. And the reason why I put Kareem in there was because before MJ came,
you got to throw Magic in there too if you're gonna do that. Now you got to throw if that's gonna be your Mount Rushmore, I'm cool with that.
No. I'm saying top 3. I'm saying top 3. Like,
but you gotta have Magic. Magic got to be somewhere.
Me personally,
I got you. I respect it. But
this is just me. So if you want my top 5, and you gonna hit my 5.
Yeah, do you?
I have Bron, MJ, Kareem. Number 4, this is where I get hate, Tim Duncan. I feel like Tim Duncan gets a lot of hate and slander, and no one really respects him.
For what?
Just because, the reason is just because the way he plays is there's just really no emotion like that. You know what I mean? Like people remember how everyone,
what? Look, no.
The Spurs was broccoli. That's what. I'm not saying that's how I feel. I'm just saying that's where a lot of the hatred comes from. Like the Spurs offense back in the day. Remember how it kind of, a lot of people thought it was outdated and it was just the players that made it succeed. And they said it was like, it was boring. There really weren't that many threes and that type of stuff. Tim Duncan really was a personification of that. You know what I mean? Because he'll go and he'll dunk and has the same stoic face and just jog back. Like he'll just go right back on defense and not say nothing. And I feel like a lot of times, think about it. When you think of MJ, you either think of the shrug, you think of the tongue, or you think I think it was Game 6 against the Jazz where he hit that walk off and then he jumped in the air and he's being mad excited and what you see those things of emotion, right? When you think of Bron, you think of LeBron, that chase down block, right? When they came down from 3-1, or Bron when he got Cleveland.
Yeah, Tayshaun Prince made popular, but go ahead.
What do you mean?
Go ahead.
Oh, the chase down?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. Tayshaun Prince made it popular for sure. Because don't get it twisted, he was a bad man. But Bron does it better. You feel me?
I ain't saying Bron went bad. I was giving it up.
I feel you though. Because he was a bad dog. No, Tayshaun Prince, see, he was different. Tayshaun Prince, what he used to do, he would let you blow by him, and he'll be like, "Oh, you got me, psych," and then he'll just come out of nowhere and just swat that joint.
And he did it quietly. He did it so quietly.
Quietly, bro. It was funny. and like Kareem, except for me, the emotional part, it came more later in his career. You know what I mean? When he was with the Lakers and all that stuff, and he started when he was hitting game winners, and that's when his emotions started coming out. You know what I mean?
But don't you think that's nitpicking though, man?
Oh no, for sure. Don't get it twisted. For sure, don't get it twisted.
Yeah, that's nitpicking. I know something about you this whole year. You do a lot of nitpicking, man.
Whoa,
no. High enough. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't really care for him. But when he started
not in this instance. I know a lot of times I do nitpick, but not in this instance. Because this is what people have told me why they don't put Tim Duncan in their top 10. I'm talking about all the time.
Hold on. No. You know what? Now this your show. I ain't got nothing but love and respect for you, man. I appreciate you having me on here, but I don't want to hear nothing coming from nobody out there say Tim Duncan not top 10. But you didn't be talking about that. I want to hear your top 5. I don't even want to hear from
Okay.
these people, man.
So all right. So Bron,
don't do
MJ,
that. Don't do that.
Kareem. I got Tim Duncan 4.
Okay.
5. This is where it gets dicey because it's interchangeable. I put Larry Bird 5, Magic 6, and then I got Shaq 7. And then I got Kobe at 8. But for me, I feel like Magic and Larry Bird and Shaq, I feel like those 3 are so interchangeable that, like, if you tell me you got Magic, if you got Magic 5, Larry 6, Shaq 7, or any combination, I would get it. And that's one trio where no matter where you put them, I get it. But for me, I put Larry first. And I think for me, why I put Larry, I just think it's because he was a Celtics. I am probably a little biased.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's kind of why I put him there. But I always thought Larry was just slightly better than Magic. I always thought it wasn't a big gap. It was real close. But yeah, so I got Bron 1, MJ 2, Kareem 3, Tim Duncan 4, 5 Larry, 6 Magic, 7 Shaq, 8 Kobe, 9. I catch flack for this one. Hakeem Olajuwon. I feel like every time I have conversations, his name is always left out for some reason.
He in my top 10.
And I don't know why a lot of people don't have him there. And then 11,
let me ask you
I have
this,
Oscar.
Though. I got a question. I got 2 questions for you because I got to roll up out of here in about 7 minutes. So I got to go pick this guy up. I may be able to still stay on the phone. I don't know yet. I have to see because these people around here be tripping. It's about. I think we should do a top 20 of all time. I think people put more concentration on 1 through 10. They forget about 11 through 20. I would love to do an 11 through 20. You know what I'm saying? And who from today's game will eventually crack the top 10? Because like I told my cousin, everything, I'm gonna tell you something. 1997, they had All-Star Weekend. They had the 50th anniversary. Everybody had the 50th anniversary jackets on. Everybody was there from Will Chamberlain. Everybody. I had recorded it. I used to record the All-Star game the whole weekend, all the time. That was my thing because it fell around my birthday, February 11th. You know what I'm saying? So I always recorded. Me and my homies be up in there wild night. Hey, what up? My top 10 then, it's not the same top 10 as it was 10 years after that. And that top 10 isn't the same as it is right now. So do you believe that a top 10 should stay the same, or does it change up?
I mean, it changes up because I used to have Bill Russell in my top 10. I used to have Bill Russell in my top 10, but
you used to?
Used to, yeah. I have him right outside the top 10.
I think. See this. Now I'm gonna say this. You is your top 10 just like any list? If your grocery list is what it is what it is. I can't say why you got the carrots down there. Why you got the
no. Because like I said, I had him there, and when I had him there, at the time I didn't have Tim Duncan in there. I don't know if I had Hakeem in there yet. I didn't have Bron in there yet. Like as time goes on, I entertain the idea of change. Like for example, when Steph Curry, in like 3 years, I'm gonna have to have a conversation about Steph. Is he a top? Because right now he's not top 10
right now.
He's not. He's not in mine, but he's close to it. Maybe
I'm gonna tell you why.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you why, Nip. Because not only did it's about like Wilt. I think that people need to pay more closer attention to Wilt and Bill Russell, man. Like, see, everybody see Bill Russell with the rings in his era, but you gotta understand what he did in that era. You gotta understand what the man did and what he meant to the game at that point in time. I think that Wilt here era still holds a whole bunch of records to this day, and I think that people are like, well, who was all there? It ain't about that. There's a lot of tall people. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you something that made me throw it one time. We're in high school. We're having our pep rally. You know what I'm saying? We're at Burrell High. This guy was taller than everybody else, but this guy attempted to dunk the ball and got hung. Everybody went crazy. That's one of the most disgusting things. Besides one time, a homeboy took his shoe off and they had wolf feet and almost threw up in his room. You know what I'm saying?
Said the most disgusting. Oh my days!
Yeah, for real. I met a guy at Ballo when Ballo was opening around here, and he was just tall. I'm 5'10", so I'm looking up. I said, "Man, how tall are you?" He said 6'8". I said, "Oh," he said, "Yeah, I get that a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm a doctor, but you know, I don't play basketball." I said, "It's cool, you're a doctor. You know what I'm saying? What you want to do? You know what I'm saying? But you put that guy on the court, that guy blow a leg for us, man. That's disgusting. You can't be that tall." So to sit there and just say, "Well, he was tall," so there's a lot of people that's tall. They can't play with the dog on. You know what I'm saying? So we can't just sit there and just hold that against him because he was tall. He was tall and great. And if he played in the 80s, he would have punished. If he played in the 90s, he would have punished. Because the guy had skill. The guy ran track. Have you ever seen Will Chamberlain run? Have you ever seen him run? Have you ever seen Bill Russell run? I mean, they're like bears out there, man. I mean, like, come on, man. We got to show more respect. I mean, your top 10 is your top 10. I ain't saying, but I'm saying I just feel some things, and it could be me stuck in my own way, but Bill Russell in my top 10 just because. And you can say that Bill Russell had the better teams over Wilt, and which he did. And Wilt put up amazing numbers against Bill. But Bill didn't back down. You know what I'm saying? Bill had some dope numbers too. You know what I'm saying? It's like when Shaq went up against Elijah One in the finals. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be like, "Yeah, Shaq punished." Did you see Elijah One numbers in the finals? If you really watch it, you wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell people, man, you're gonna talk to me, talk for real. I don't want to hear that barbershop talk when you don't know what the word you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Talk for real.
I feel you. I feel you. And like I said, like for me, my top 10, it's I don't have it set concrete and so because if I did, Ron wouldn't be in there right now. Kobe wouldn't be in there right now. Why? Maybe Shaq. No, but I'm just saying, if my thing was set in stone, then I wouldn't open my mind to anything because nobody was. I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that.
I would.
But I'm gonna explain why. Because if let's say I set it in stone, right?
Yeah.
And then let's say someone else, for example, Steph comes up, right? And now I gotta put him in my top 10. And you ask me, yo, why is he in the top 10? Imagine I tell you, Steph is not in my top 10 because I already have 10 guys in there and I'm not moving anybody for him.
Okay.
I would look dumb. You see what I'm saying? So that's why for me, it's like, this is my top 10. Now, if someone does something to enter it and I have to kick somebody out, it's unfortunate. But
that's going to take place. That's what I'm saying.
And like, that's what I'm saying. So, like, right now, is it's sort of in stone, sort of. But if somebody comes up and, like, for example, Steph or Kevin Durant, and they show, yo, we deserve to be in the top 10, I'll put you in my top 10. You know what I mean?
And that's why we're gonna do this list, man. I would like for us to do this in person, but we need to do this list because that's a great point. At this point in time, let's just say Kevin Durant cannot say I retire right now. Yep. The guy done played 15 years.
Where you put him?
Well, where does he go?
Right, and that's the thing. So now you gotta have conversations.
Is top 10 based off rings, or is it based off the overall talent of the player?
So this is my top 10. This is the 3 rules I've dictated for my top 10. Because there are 3 things you need to have.
Okay.
Yes, you need to have championships, right? But I consider championships in accolades. So I look at all your accolades. So not just the championships. I look at MVPs, Defensive Player of the Years, all NBA, first, second, third team, all defense. I look at all that stuff. So I look at the accolades.
Okay.
What you bring to the table in terms of skill set. And what you do with said skills. So, for example, Shaq may not be a better player overall in terms of, you know, what he's got to do. In terms, let's say, a guy like Dirk, right? Like, because Dirk is the more complete all around player. But with what he had with and what Shaq did with it, we called him the most dominating force in basketball. And now we call it the most dominant force there's ever been. So when I look at that stuff hand in hand, that's also what I put into it. Because you could have not that many skills, but if you're owning the league with what you got, I can't knock you for not having a 3-point shot. I can't knock you for struggling at the free throw line. When you're putting up, you know, damn near 30 and 20, and nobody could literally stop you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would like to say, you know what? That's a great conversation to have.
That really is. Because and to your point,
I'm gonna go with I think Shaq was a better passer on the ball. I think it was, I think he was a better defender.
Then who?
He was a better rebounder.
Then who?
In Dirk.
I don't think he was a better passer. Defensive, you got me there because he was swatting balls. So I'll give you the defensive for sure. Rebounding,
why?
I think we can make the argument too.
Check the diesel, man.
No, listen, I'm not saying that Shaq wasn't a passer, but
yeah, I got you.
Bro, Dirk was running point guard at times for plays in Dallas, bro.
I got you, man. It's a good conversation. That's why I like when me and you come together, cause it's a conversation. You see what I'm saying?
It is.
It ain't about an argument or who know more and all. It ain't about that because we learn from one another. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that's what it's about. That's why I love talking to you, man. You know?
but now, matter of fact, I'm gonna take you up. We might do like a top 25 or top 30. We might even go a little deeper, and we might just do an entire episode dedicated on that.
We're gonna have to, because
yes, sir.
That's a homework right there, man. And I'm very interested in seeing. And you know what? I wish we could have a third person who's younger than you, and he do his job. Just to see.
Yo, we gonna have John Morant in top 15s and top 10s, bro. I'm telling you. Yo, I know you gotta leave, but do you got time to do the NFL predictions before you out?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, bet. So let's hop right into that. All right, so we gonna do this right quick because I know you gotta be out. The first game, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1 o'clock games. The first one, Texans at Jets.
Texans?
Yep, Texans at Jets.
I got Texans, man. Jets ain't got a quarterback.
Yep, same. I got Texans at Jets. Even though they're saying Zach Wilson's gonna start, I don't think that makes a difference. The next game, Rams at Ravens.
I got Ravens.
You got Ravens?
You said Ravens?
Ravens.
Okay, I got Ravens.
And Rams. Yeah, the Rams go to. I mean, I got the Ravens too, but I don't. This was a hard one for me to pick because they're both kind of injured. But yeah, you know what I mean. But I mean, I think Lamar is still playing, so I think that kind of puts them in a different position.
But I wouldn't be surprised by the Rams because the Rams will spread you out like 3-4 wide and go to work.
Right.
So you know.
So you know what I mean. So
but I got
next game, Panthers at Saints.
Saints.
Yep, I got the Saints too. Colts at Bengals.
Colts at Bengals. I'm gonna take the Bengals at home. I know Gardner get it in when I'm saying throwing, but I'm gonna take the Bengals at home.
Same. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game, but I got the Bengals too. The next game we got Buccaneers at Falcons.
I got the Falcons, man. I'm riding with the Falcons on that.
I got the Buccaneers because I did say that they were gonna split. I thought they would split, and I know the Falcons won the first time, so I got the Buccaneers. I really hope they don't sell me out and make me look dumb. Jags at Browns.
Jags at Browns. Is Trevor playing?
So far, they're giving indications that he will play. There hasn't been like solidified yet. It's Christian Kirk, their wide receiver. He's out for at least 4 weeks.
I'm gonna take the Browns just because they and just because their defense can probably get the offense on some short fields on some position.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna take the Jags because they still got Travis Etienne, so I do think they can kind of control the game with the run game. But it's gonna be a game. Definitely gonna be an interesting game. Last 1 o'clock game, Lions at Bears. I think we both agree on this one.
I got Lions.
Yep. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure we both agree on that one. And then we got 2 4 o'clock games. Seattle Seahawks at the 49ers. I got the Niners.
I got the Niners too, man. What they put on last, and I had meant to text you, man. What they put on last week, man, that's some scary stuff right now. And I'm not saying that Philly has the dopest defense or whatever, but that was still pretty scary.
Well, honestly, for me, it was for me just along the lines of like not only they came out there and punched Philly in the mouth, but they also didn't let Philly try to get any momentum or try to correct the ship. It was a very dominant performance from start to finish. So I do give the Niners a lot of credit in there. The next 4 o'clock game, Vikings at Raiders, and Justin Jefferson is making his return for the Vikings.
Raiders play pretty good at home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take.
Me personally.
Vikings, I think the Vikings are more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I'm taking the Vikings.
I agree with you. What Joshua Dobbs has been doing in terms of when he targets Addison and Hawkinson, it's enough to make me feel comfortable that him and Justin Jefferson will be fine, and I think they'll be able to be fine. Justin Jefferson has a plethora of routes in his route tree. He can go deep, he can go middle, and can also run slants. So whatever Joshua Dobbs most goes, right. So for me, I'm gonna go with the Vikings because, like I said, Joshua Dobbs has looked nice with other weapons he's got. Now the best weapon is coming back. I think that's enough to try to push him a little forward.
That's right.
So now we got 2 4:30 games. The first one, Broncos at Chargers.
Broncos and Chargers. Hey man, we both said what we've done with the Broncos, and ever since we said that, man,
they've been cooking.
I'm going with the Broncos.
Well, I said I had to be consistent, and I swore I would never pick the Broncos again, so I'm not going to pick them. So I had to pick the Chargers, and it hurt my soul because I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is honestly the game that they're gonna. It hurt me to do that, but I have no choice. I'm begrudgingly picking the Chargers. This next game, you might get mad at me. Bills at Chiefs.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something. This is a tricky pick.
Oh, I'm glad you said it.
You know how I feel about King Mahomes, but hey, man, I don't think Buffalo guys do. It's just play Buffalo ball. Josh Allen just do what he do, and this could be an easy win for them. But it's in Kansas City, right?
It's in Kansas City. That's the only problem.
I'm going with Mahomes, but I would not be surprised if Buffalo won. That's all I'm saying.
I'm going with Buffalo. I think this is the game that they do need to win. And I think offense and defense, I think right now the Chiefs are kind of hitting like a little low in their season. And I think if the Bills are going to get the jump on the Chiefs at any time, this is it. So I do think the Bills get it done. At least I hope so. And then the tomorrow night, the 8:30 game, Eagles versus the Cowboys. I already know who
right. Hey man, I mean, when you can really say something without saying nothing, it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? And when the world can respond and the world can receive the information, the information can be written out all over somewhere. I'm about to show you how it's written all over the place. Soon as I part right quick, it's just all over the place, man. Information is lovely, especially when you can look and be like, oh, that's what it is. Okay, so when you look, you see what it is. When you look, you see what it is. Like this. And when you look, you see what it is. You ain't gotta ask.
I have the Eagles.
Did you hear me? If I never made another guarantee in my life, I guarantee this. We're gonna stump them guys, man. I don't care who they sign. They can sign Shaq Leonard, Kareem Leonard, and whoever. I don't care. That for MVP, even though he ain't gonna get it, but that for MVP.
Eagles gonna put pause on y'all. Eagles gonna put pause on y'all, bro.
I'm gonna tell you too.
Eagles gonna put pause on you. When I say pause, I mean it's gonna look mighty rough for the rest of the season for y'all.
Well, check this out. Everybody put their best game against Dallas. Everybody put their best foot forward. Everybody knows that it's gonna be a prime time game, more like when you're playing us. So everybody gonna want to show out and shine. It's no different from being at the Garden. They don't matter how great the Knicks are. If they won at 81, whoever coming, just like in 2009 when LeBron, Kobe, and Dwayne Wade came there and showed the frack out. You know what I'm saying? I never forget it. One of the greatest weeks of like history for like arena. You know what I'm saying? Just for a city, like. I would have loved to have been on the other end of that, but I'm talking about straight, man. If you ever just had time, go back and type in 2009 Madison Square Garden, Kobe, LeBron, Wade. I'm trying to tell you, man.
All right. Well, I'm just letting you know. I'm trying to tell you, when the Eagles get mollywopped, when they get slapped 7 ways to Sunday, and when y'all get embarrassed, I'm gonna be here Not to comfort, but to laugh.
Yeah.
And relish in your misery, kind sir.
That's right. Yeah.
I just want the record. Dude.
It's all good, man.
And then on Monday we have a doubleheader. Well, not really a doubleheader, more like 2 games at once, which I think is the dumbest thing in the world. But okay. The first one, Packers at Giants.
You said Packers at what?
At Giants.
Packers at Giants.
Yeah.
Packers at Giants. Oh yeah, I'm taking Packers all day.
Yeah, I'm taking Packers too. Last game, Titans at Dolphins.
Dolphins.
I think Dolphins by like 40.
Yeah.
It hurts to say that too, but like Dolphins
by
40.
See, my dedication there. I'm out here in the rain talking to you. You know what I'm saying?
Sensational. Oh, you got any final words before we get up out of here?
Man, I just every week, man, every week that we're able to get on, because we have things that take place that may prevent from time to time. But hey, it's just all love, man. I just thankful and blessed to be able to be on your show. And if something come out of it, man, just give me a job, man. I clean the floors to the studio, man. Just give me a job.
It's always a privilege and an honor to spend some time with you. For those of y'all who watched, thank you. Thank you for watching. As always, on behalf of Unc, it is your boy Pride. We'll be back here next week to talk more shit about your favorite team. Until then, y'all know what to do. Be safe.
Peace.
The fact that people are saying, oh yeah, when you're finals MVP, you are now the best player on the planet, to me, that makes no sense whatsoever. I don't care if it's a week, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? LeBron James. That's who y'all gotta start appreciating. And you gotta stop disrespecting this man.